Do you have piles of paper? I do. I've been going through mine for the last several days and I've made a dent. It feels really good. I'm going to show you what I'm doing with all this paperwork that just kind of piles up. Piles of paper. I imagine you can relate. I don't get as much junk mail as I used to, which is a great thing, but I still get some. And I get real mail that I need for information, or it's a bill that I have to pay. Some things I have paperless. I've gone paperless with my credit union statements and retirement accounts. I don't get those in the mail very often, maybe quarterly. Maybe that's all they do anyway. But some things like credit card statements, I just go online, look at the bill, and I have it set up on automatic payment, which is great. That is a lifesaver because I have 3 credit cards. I only use one of them on a regular basis, and I have that set up to be paid out of my credit union's checking account every month for the full amount. I keep enough money in there, but I always go when I get an email saying I have a bill that will be paid, to make sure, because, some months you have to spend more money and you don't have as much money. So I transfer the money out of savings into checking so that it can be paid. But I digress. I'm talking about paper. All of that stuff is paperless, which is a huge help. I guess that's my point. If you can, go paperless. And if you hate it, go back and, tell them you want the paper copies if that's what makes you happy. But for me, it's a big relief to know I'm not going to have all that stuff sitting around because I don't need it. So I'm going to show you what I do when I'm sorting piles of paper. I'm going to show you my floor. I'm looking at it. This is a minimal amount of junk. But I have a college magazine they send to me. I like getting those. It's only quarterly or twice a year or something. And I skim through it, and occasionally I'll read an article about what alumni have done and, different things. So I like that. I have some retirement paperwork on the floor. I have 2 folders that I just labeled. One of them says YouTube in progress, and the other says YouTube to do, because I have ideas for YouTube videos all the time, and I jot down things on scraps of paper. I have more notebooks than I'll ever need, but do I use them? No. I think I will, and then I just grab a piece of scrap paper. So the file folders are a place I can stick those scraps of paper and then look through it. And sometimes I have an idea and I think later, I'm not going to do anything with that, so then I can throw it away. But I have 2 folders for YouTube, and that's a great thing. I have some paperwork that's sentimental, so I have a folder for that. Because, it brings back good memories, and some things we just want to keep so that we remember those times with different people. And that's not bad to me. It's a good thing. I also have a pile of papers of little scraps that I do. When I learn about something like health-wise or something, I'll write it on a piece of paper to research later because I'll forget. And so I'm going to go through that pile. And then I have another pile that's very similar. 2 piles and I could combine it into one, no big deal. But I think the key for me to sorting out paperwork is to just start small. Because if you get 1 drawer done or 1 pile done and get it organized, thrown away, recycled, shredded. Shredded is a big thing for me. I'm very private. Like on here, I'm just do-it-myself Peg. That's all. I'm never going to say my last name. I'm not going to say where I live. I think it's safer to do that. And also, if I get anything in the mail or from a person, any kind of paperwork with my name and address on it, I shred it. I rip off the little address part and I shred it on a magazine, whatever it is. I just think it's the smart thing to do with all the identity theft and whatnot out there. So, do you do that? I don't know. Some people told me I'm paranoid. It's like, yeah, I am. I don't care. It's better to be paranoid than to get your identity stolen. So, I shred a lot of stuff, and I'm okay with that. Anything, even receipts with just the last four digits of my credit card number, I shred it. I don't want people knowing all my business either, you know? So, I shred a lot of papers, and here's my shredder and my pile of papers that I'm going to shred. And I'm going to fill up this container. I'll show you real quick what it looks like empty. I put a grocery bag in there to catch all the shredded paper. Here it is, perfectly empty. Now I'll fill it up. So I shredded my papers, and here is the full container. I'll put this out for recycling. Here is my bag that I just shredded. I shredded another bag yesterday, so I have those. And then I have all this more paperwork that didn't need to be shredded. It didn't have any personal information on it, so I'm getting rid of that too in my recycling can. So some things that I do keep, and I keep these maybe for too long, tax records. I was looking through some files, some little file containers that you can put file folders in the other day, and I came across all my tax records going back to 2017. I think you're supposed to keep them 7 years. That's 9 years. Every couple years, I go ahead and delete, shred the old stuff from a couple years or whatever. But I just keep it just in case. It's not hurting anything, but I don't keep it forever. I do get rid of it eventually. So, tax records. Another thing are medical records. I like to compare my blood work year to year if I can. So I have a folder with all my, I request a copy of my blood work for my wellness check each year. And so I have a paper copy of it, because for something like that, it's easier than looking online. I could go to my portal, my health care portal, and look, but it's easier to, especially to compare 2 years worth of results on a paper copy for me. So I do like to have my medical records. And I don't have anything big, knock on wood. Don't want anything big. Thank goodness. I'm healthy, which is great. So medical records, I keep those for a while, but not forever. Another thing is legal documents. Like I came across my divorce record, my divorce papers. I'm going to keep those. I don't know when I'll ever need them, but that's something, that sort of thing. And I also have paperwork from when I bought and sold houses or condos or townhouses, whatever. And I've kept those, and it's done. I don't own those places anymore. I could probably shred those, and I need to look into that. I keep sentimental papers, kind of like I mentioned, because, I just want to. It's good memories. So simple. This is one of my small file containers that I have. I don't have a filing cabinet that I use for my papers, but this works really well, and I've got another one like it. And the other day, I sorted through and got rid of so much stuff. This was crammed full of file folders with papers and just miscellaneous junk that I didn't need. And now, it looks like this. Much better. I have lots of room. I can put stuff in here. And I'm very pleased that this is freed up. I have freed up room in here so that I can put more things away. So what about you? Do you regularly go through your paperwork, and are you better organized than me? You probably are. I'm kind of hate doing this stuff, but I like when it's done. Sometimes I'll take a pile of papers and just spread them out on my bed into piles of what I need to keep and what I need to get rid of. And it is a good feeling of accomplishment. I keep several utility bills, each one 2 or 3 months worth. For some reason, I don't know why, but it's not necessary, and I eventually shred those, and it's okay. So let me know how you deal with decluttering your paperwork, because this is different than stuff. Sometimes it's medical, sometimes it's legal, sometimes it's sentimental, and you just want to keep it for whatever reason, or you need to keep it. And I do okay. I'm getting ready for taxes, so I'm looking through old stuff, and I found last year's tax return, which I like to give the couple sheets of the final paperwork to the new tax preparers so that they can, they usually need that for whatever reason. I am so glad I don't have to do my taxes. Hate it. Hate doing that. So let me know how you deal with decluttering, and if you like doing it or if you hate it. I'm in the hate it category. Just don't like it at all. But it's a good feeling when it's done, when I've sorted it out, gotten rid of a big pile of junk that I don't need. So let me know in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.